Hello Curious and welcome back. It is a well-known fact that many times the reality surpasses fiction, and in today's episode we are going to talk about Anna Wintour. She is an iconic figure in the fashion world, and many of you surely have seen her at different memorable events. The thin woman with her iconic haircut and sunglasses, always present at the front row during the important runway fashion events. And speaking of her look, it is even one she is seen wearing inside her office. But for now, let's take a closer look at this successful woman and the truth behind her undisputed success. Does the movie The Devil Wears Prada reflect the truth of her personality? And does the character even touch the pinnacle of her success? What controversies and scandals have she been involved in her private life? Also, why did Johnny Depp base one of his performances on her? And why do they call her the nuclear Wintour? Known as the lover of older men in her younger years, elitist, cold and calculating, those are just some adjectives her ex-workers would describe her with, but why do they now see her career is in decline? Stay with us until the very end to find out all the latest news with regards to this fashion legend, but before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. It is a known fact that the world of fashion is one of the most difficult industries to work in, exist, and let alone succeed and make history in. This is something that is certainly not easy, since you must always be up to date with the latest trends, yet at the same time, make sure you are ahead of them. Especially when you work for companies such as Vogue, who are pioneers in this market. And as it turns out, Anna Wintour is just that person. Born November 3rd, 1949, she is the daughter of Charles Wintour, prominent editor of the London Evening Standard. So as you can see, Curious, Anna had already come off from a wealthy family who already had connections to the world of publishing, which worked to her advantage, as often to get by in the industry, money and glamour are needed, alongside knowledge of fashion in a world where trends can change drastically overnight. As you can imagine, it is not an easy job anyone can handle. Being at the highest of the building also does not mean being a lone wolf, because teamwork is essential. But that doesn't mean that Wintour can surround herself with just anyone who can work for her. The woman is best known for firing anyone who doesn't fit her demands, as well as those of the fashion world. Not meeting those demands is why Victoria's Secret had to undergo drastic change to its image, which you can find out more about by clicking on the link above. But for now, stay with us to find out more about the legendary nuclear Wintour. Though despite already having connections in the industry, Anna still had to fight to make a name for herself, as she was overshadowed by the name of her father, who was already well known in the publishing industry and who helped his daughter get her first job. Wintour had even more eyes on her, which made her go against the current. At the age of 15, she stood out for not complying with the dress codes imposed in the school that she attended. Here we are talking about the 60s, where men had tried to repress women, so at the time it was a bit scandalous for young Anna to be this rebellious. From the age of 14, she had started to wear her hair in her distinctive bob style. And it was between the ages of 14 and 15 where one of the first controversies surrounding her had started, as she was involved in a relationship with 24-year-old novelist Piers Paul. Even today, with such an age difference, this would have caused a stir. As we mentioned before, it was Charles Wintour that had arranged for his daughter's first job, which was at the renowned Biba boutique. Years later, reflecting on that day, in an interview, Anna had said, "I think my father really decided for me that I should work in fashion." After that, at her parents' persuasion, she took to studying fashion at a nearby school, as well as a training program at Harrods. Though she soon abandoned the classes, claiming that you either know fashion or you don't. Though at such a young age, Piers Paul wasn't the only boyfriend that she had. Another man she was seen with was Richard Neville, 8 years her senior, yet he was the one who gave Anna her first step in the world of publishing in his controversial publication Oz. This was only the beginning of her journey to success, as she made connections during her work as an assistant for various magazines, especially with the trend-setting photographers of the time. She had previously also worked for Harper's Bazaar UK and Queen magazines as an editorial assistant, yet her deepest desire, one that she shared with her friends, was that she dreamed to work for Vogue. Though before arriving at the esteemed fashion magazine, she moved to the United States to make a name for herself, continuing her work for the New York branch of Harper's Bazaar magazine as a junior fashion editor. She only ended up working there for 9 months, as she was fired from her position, in part for her outlandish photo shoots. Though there weren't any hard feelings, as later she described her time at the magazine as a great learning experience. Afterward, she ended up working for Viva and Savvy magazines. But then the day came that she got an interview for her dream job. She was hired by Alex Lieberman, who doubled her salary and gave her the position of creative director at Vogue. And it was around that time that Anna was also linked to none other than Bob Marley. And according to various media outlets who reported on at the time, they were introduced by a mutual friend and would run away for a weekend getaway together. As it was reported at the time, in 1975, it was an open secret that Wintour was obsessed with the singer. In fact, it was even rumoured that she was backstage at his shows and accompanied him to his hotels. However, in several interviews about those rumours, Anna has always denied even knowing him, but close sources to her claimed that it was true, adding that it is something she will take to her grave. But rumours aside, in 1984, Wintour had married David Shafter, a renowned psychotherapist, and despite the pair later divorcing, they had 2 children together, Charles and Catherine. Looking at her private life, in terms of marriage and children, it could be said that it was normal. Yet in the work environment, things looked a little different. After the retirement of Beatrix Miller, who held the highest position in the UK Vogue magazine, Anna was promoted to the editorial position, and that was when things started getting tense between her and her team that she was in charge of. Let's just say that the star of today's video had a different way of seeing things, and perhaps, in order to make her work stand out and for the editorial changes to be noticed, she began to fire people. After she took over, Vogue definitely started to change. The magazine had a fresh new air about it and was aimed at professional women. Although the success also came with making some enemies and within the editorial team and possibly even the world, Anna soon became known as Nuclear Wintour, and the staff who managed to keep their jobs would call those days the Wintour of our discontent. Known for her demanding elegance, extreme discipline and controversial attitude towards her employees, this fashion legend had inspired her former personal assistant Lauren Weisberg to write a book about her experiences. So curious, just how similar is Anna Wintour to Miranda Priestly? Well, as it turns out, the reality allegedly outweighs the fiction. The Devil Wears Prada book has been based on real events that the author of the book had experienced herself, as well as other employees that had worked closely with Wintour. So imagine having crazy tasks to do, and some even without a deadline or anything like that, since everything that Anna had asked for was literally for yesterday. The woman is best known for having a strong character and never showing emotions. In fact, some had reported that this is why she doesn't take off her sunglasses, so that no one sees her reacting to things, especially at work. However, the fashion icon herself had said that the novel is much more fiction than reality. But let's find out if this is completely true. Reality has shown that Anna Wintour, who wakes up every day at 6 AM and who then attends her tennis lessons, is more than ready to start her day at work with impeccable makeup, hair and clothes. She is a person who is required in thousands of meetings, and all thanks to her influence and high profile. And thanks to it all, she has gotten to interact with many famous people, from models to big public figures such as the Obamas and even Queen Elizabeth herself, to whom she allegedly is close to, and they have been seen together sharing smiles while enjoying some fashion shows. However, despite her busy schedule and meetings, galas, etc., at night Anna is a completely disciplined person and never stays up late, as she must be in bed by 10:15 PM. In fact, her close friends say she is simply an intimidating person, and besides all, they know perfectly well when she wants to end the conversation. And do you know how her friend Elizabeth II stays healthy thanks to her routine? You can find out in our video on the CURIOSIPS WOW channel by clicking on the link above, but for now, stay with us until the very end. Her talent for making changes for the better was noticed by all, and so, in 1987, Wintour was contacted by House & Garden magazine in NYC to give it a touch of freshness and put it back on the top. So she did what distinguished her from others, working at her own pace and under her own standards, and once again, the editorial staff had encountered many layoffs. Such changes are made from the root, and yet making such radical ones in the magazine cost the company the subscription of a large number of readers. However, all the while, Anna continued to put Vogue at the forefront, and now, a little more focused on lifestyle, she is a pioneer in the world of fashion. And despite the fact that more than once her work style has been questioned, it seems that at work the discipline and demand gave her good results in most cases. Being able to make such changes has been detrimental in her private life, as in 1999 she divorced her husband after having an alleged affair with Shelby Bryan. The two ended their marriage, yet whether Wintour had an affair or not was never 100% confirmed. While it might seem like her life has been all perfect and successful, that she couldn't be further from the truth. There had been several covers of the magazines that she worked on that had been heavily criticised. One was with regards to perpetrating racial stereotypes with the 2018 LeBron James cover. Jennifer Aniston's cover issue was also criticised for having what Angelina did was pretty uncool on the cover. The fact that Wintour decided to put Kim Kardashian and Kanye West on the cover was also met with critique, as well as the fact that she told Oprah to lose weight if she wanted to be on the cover of the magazine. And these are just some of the few controversies. Things had gone so far at times that many had even called for Anna to be removed from the magazine, citing that she had fallen into vulgarity and that she has lost her touch, though she continued to work until now and continues to make history in the fashion world. In fact, she continues to give us things to talk about, just like she had done with the Billie Eilish cover, where many had noticed the singer looked more sensual than ever before. And if you want to know more about it, then be sure to check out our previous video by clicking on the link above. But for now, stay with us to find out what consequences Anna had suffered for the way that she works and is with her staff. Her character had even inspired actors, and Johnny Depp had revealed that Wintour had inspired his performance as Willy Wonka in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, as he finds her to be a fascinating character. In addition to the above, Anna herself has had a way of seeing the Devil Wears Prada movie, a part that had indisputably given her more renown and more people had turned to fix their eyes on her. The movie saw many designers be named, yet only one appeared in the film, and that was Valentino Garavani. Yet, curiously enough, Wintour herself attended the premiere of the movie. The film, which had earned $300 million at the box office, was described by Anna as really entertaining. However, she did not forgive Weisberg and commented on it all, saying she should just get a job as someone else's assistant. However, not everything was favourable for her. After the movie came out, Wintour was hopelessly working to save her image from media scrutiny, and she was also forced fines from her former employees, for which the company once had to pay a fine of over $104,000, and another was made directly by Anna herself in the sum of $32,000. Though overall, that did not put much of a dent in the editor's net worth, which is currently estimated to be around $50 million. And so curious, what are your thoughts about Anna Wintour? Do you think that she's losing her touch? Would you like for her to retire and someone else to take over the job? Did you know that she is allegedly close to the Queen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. And if you enjoy our content, you can click on the thanks button below to support us. Until next time.